Welcome to the Football Fignuts podcast. This is season 7, episode 17, 292 overall. Is that right? Could be right. My name is Sinch.
And I'm Craig.
Was I right? Did I forget?
You were right. All those numbers were absolutely correct. So good job. Good job. Thank you for joining me this week. Britt had a work thing. We took last week off because just, life in general. But yeah, you were here we are again. And Sinch, how are you? It's been a few weeks.
I'm doing great.
Couple weeks, I think.
The tires are literally falling off, but I'm fine. Everything's great.
Good.
And how are you?
I'm okay. I don't have any tires falling off, not that I know of. So that's a plus, I think.
No, that's a plus.
I hope. All right. Well, today we're recording a little bit earlier than we normally do by like 2 hours. Look at us being like...
No, but they don't need to know that.
Productive.
We're getting older and we,
But yeah, you were off and I was working at home, so it's kind of worked this way. So thanks for joining me. So let's start. We always start. Cinch, what are you drinking?
Well, I'm very excited to begin drinking this because I don't think I've had it before.
Excellent.
From Treehouse.
Ooh.
It is double shot pumpkin spice.
Ooh. Is it like a coffee? Ooh, that sounds good.
Pouring this into a glass. It is completely dark as could be.
Is it like a coffee pumpkin thing?
Its description is pouring jet black with a frothy chestnut brown head. Double shot pumpkin spice is a stout lover's dream.
Oh,
the aroma of rich cocoa dusted coffee beans, sweet roasted pumpkin, plus warming cinnamon and nutmeg.
Ooh.
Rise from the glass.
Oh, very
Following
nice.
behind flavors of, I cannot read. Flavors of dense chocolate brownies, sweet latte, hard candy, and pumpkin spice cake.
Wow. That is deep. I hope it tastes like any combination of those words.
This is the perfect fireside companion for fall. All right. I will and you know what I really appreciate? I poured this into a glass, and it's got about a 1.5 inch frothy top on it still, and I've poured it and read the description. That's good beer.
Yeah, that's good. That is good.
Very funny. I don't get pumpkin.
What do you get? Anything? Coffee? Chocolate? Cinnamon?
I get a chocolate coffee taste.
All right.
So what are
that's
you
not necessarily that's not necessarily a bad thing. So for me, because I was lazy today, and I didn't eat dinner yet, so I'm going a little light. So I'm drinking a High Noon. You can mock me, but
okay,
it's vodka, so it's fine.
Shitbird, poo head. I got nothing.
I was gonna make my own vodka tonic, but we only have vanilla vodka because I was making pumpkin martinis on Halloween or the day before Halloween.
Well, you got to give the kids something.
That's right. Do you get any trick or treaters? We don't. Though we're in a condo complex, so it's very rare that it happens here.
Well, where I am, when I had young kids, we would always go to my sister's neighborhood, nice cul-de-sac area. So even when the kids were little, we were never home, and I'm on kind of a busy road. And then once the kids were gone, I'm getting home from work and it's already dark out. So I haven't bothered. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And plus everything is like the trunk or treat thing, or they do it in malls and stuff. So
I don't like the way they drive to different neighborhoods. If your parents are poor and you live in a poor part of town, you get the little fun size. If you want the rich, great big size candy bar, you shouldn't be able to drive into the Beverly Hills neighborhood and get the full size bars. You should just be stuck where you live.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say you're wrong on that. I mean, we were, so.
When I was a kid, we would go out trick or treating
Uh-huh.
in, whatever it would be, 25 houses, whatever that area is. Then
Yeah.
we'd go back to my house, and
Mm.
there were about 7 or 8 of us, and we would all switch costume. And then we'd go to those same houses again. And we thought we were fooling them. We fooled no one, but we thought
No.
we were fooling them.
Yeah. Yep. Also, too, back then there were no mini-sized candy things at all. They were all like normal size. There was one size, so and normal.
It's funny we're coming up to Thanksgiving, but we're doing a Halloween episode anyway.
We are, just because it wasn't that long ago. So, I mean, it's fine. It's fine. All right, so let's get on to the next. Any burning hot takes for you, sir?
I do. Why
Okay.
can't I taste pumpkin in a pumpkin double shot pumpkin
honestly,
spice?
I've had a lot of pumpkin beers, and it doesn't always happen. Sometimes it's just pure cinnamon. So
I don't even
really
get that though. I'm getting. Look, this is very good. Yeah. Everything I've ever had from Treehouse tastes really good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not getting the pumpkin, but it's good. It's a chocolatey. It's not a chocolate sweet, but it's a chocolate beer flavored beer, chocolate coffee-ish. Okay. It's good. It's all good.
All right. That's, I mean, again, okay. That's all that matters.
So I don't have a burning hot take question. I just have a statement. So my statement is
a statement. Okay.
Did you know that Josh Dobbs has scored 4 more fantasy points on the year than Patrick Mahomes?
I did not know that.
He's played one more game, so maybe that's cheating.
Yeah, wait, Josh Dobbs has or Mahomes has?
He's played one more than Mahomes.
Okay.
And that's why he has one.
So I was going to say that the Denver game in Kansas City or versus Kansas City was pretty bad.
It's not 4 more points. He scored more points. The 4 was my second statement. That Josh Dobbs is averaging 4 more fantasy points weekly, averaging 4 more than Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, huh? That's kind of crazy. It's been I feel like we say this every year, but every year it feels like the league and football and fantasy and DFS gets like weirder and weirder.
I think that the amount of good quarterbacks is probably, if you think about what it was 20 years ago, we probably even have more good quarterbacks now.
Yeah, because back when we started playing fantasy, there was like 2 quarterbacks, and the rest were all like literally the same person.
So I mean, now we might have 7 or 8 that are good, but once you hit that number 10 or 11, whatever that number is, man, do they fall off the cliff. It gets bad.
Yeah, it's a big cliff. And I mean, quarterback is probably the hardest position to play, but it definitely you definitely launch off a cliff after a certain point.
And speaking of guys you would like to launch off a cliff, let's talk about Mac Jones.
You mean that's the guy you want to launch off a cliff?
Oh, you don't want to do it too? Just because?
I mean, I like the plethora of gifts he gives us. So
yeah, I know.
And yes, everyone, it's a GIF. It's a G, not a J. All right? Okay, sorry. Go on.
I thought it was an interception. That's what he gives. He gives interceptions.
He does do that.
He doesn't throw them. He gives them. Here, take this.
At least he hasn't kicked anyone in the groin lately. I guess.
Maybe. I'm done. No one cares about the Patriots. They are among the worst teams in the league. And if it were up to me, they would be the worst.
Yeah.
Lose out.
Are they the worst? Is this the worst Patriots teams you've seen?
No.
Because you've been a Patriot fan a very long time. Like, does this compare to the bad? Does this compare to the bad 1 or 0 win years?
Well, they never did the 0 win thing, but they did do the 1 win.
They did do the 1 thing.
The Lions did a 0. The Patriots, when they were really bad back then, I felt like they had no players. This team now, and I am in the minority in saying this team now, if you put a solid, good quarterback on this team, I think they could easily win 6 or 7 or 8 games. They're close. They lost to the Eagles by 7. They lost to really everyone. I mean, who'd they beat? But most of their games, they're right there. There's a chance. There's a play to be made. And that's when Mac either takes the sack or throws an interception and the game is shot to hell. But again, no one cares about the Patriots. I don't want to turn this into I'm here, so we're talking about it. I brought it up. I want to move on. So, the Bengals, big game, Thursday night, Bengals, Ravens.
Bengals, Ravens, Thursday night. My really take on this is that the receiving core is banged up, and you should take the under on this game. It's a divisional game. Their games, honestly, it could go either way. But I would take the under in the game. But that's me.
I agree with taking the under. The prime time under is something like 12-1. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. It was 10-1 when I heard that stat, and that was a couple of weeks ago. And you figure you've got the Thursday, Sunday, Monday. But, I mean, the under has hit like crazy in the prime time. But, see, I disagree. I agree that you should take the under. My concern this week would be two teams that know each other.
Yes.
That could either be no one scores or that could be everybody scores.
No, that's true. That game can easily go 14-13, or it could be, 28-32.
I was going to say I could see it being 27-23, 27-24.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably, we haven't done the over-unders, but I've got to figure that's over if it went to that.
It might be. I can't tell you yet. I mean, I've been saying this since Burrow came back from his knee injury when he had his first full year. They take the coaching staff. I don't think it's the players, really. They take way, way too long to make adjustments. Like it shouldn't. Since Burrow's first full year, they have been a second half team the entire time, and that only gets you so far, depending on the game. Could they score 24 points in a quarter? Yes. Should they assume they're going to do that all the time? Maybe to help their confidence, but is it going to happen? Not all the time. So that is my problem with this team right now. And I know the receiving core is broken, especially with Higgins fracturing his rib. That kind of, at the beginning of the year, kind of screwed him up. He's going to be out this week again, probably. Jamar Chase hurt his back. I'm surprised he played, but is he going to play on a short week? I don't know.
He will. He's a gamer. He's one of those guys.
He will. Oh, he is. But then you have to, it's one of those things you have to think about. If he gets hit and all of a sudden his back really hurts again, does he force himself to play? And then, he misses week 12, so.
Let me tell you, I broke a rib once. These guys that break a rib and then play, I don't understand it. They must have some kind of serious drugs.
Oh, I'm sure they do. They have many drugs.
And if you ever break a rib and sneeze, you would rather be dead than have that happen again.
Yeah. From my own personal injury experience, how they say players get neck stingers. What that actually is a herniated disc in your, a pinched nerve in your neck. And as someone who had that happen to them, that is not a good time. So I don't know what they inject them with, because I wish the hell I had it when I did that, because, it gets bad enough where you can't lift your arm, and literally everything is on fire. So yeah. It's hardcore drugs, definitely.
Yay, drugs.
Yeah. Drugs. You gotta have drugs. So my question for you, it's just a question. That's not really a burning hot take. Do you agree with me now that the Browns are a dumpster fire of a team?
I don't, because they have a really good defense.
They do. They do.
Okay. Well, see, to me, the definition of a dumpster fire, that to me
Okay.
is a team that
Well, yeah.
everything is shot to hell.
Okay. Well, then, can you agree that their front office and ownership is a dumpster fire?
I mean, I don't really
Because
know.
they have no picks. And
Well, that leads us to Watson is done for the season, and
I think he should just be done. Like, period.
I I don't have it in front of me,
Mm-hmm.
but from the time this trade was made, I've said this has the potential to be one of the worst trades in the history of the NFL.
Yeah.
And it was multiple first round picks.
I think it's like 7 or 6. I had a picture of it somewhere. Let me see if I can find it.
No, I think it was like 3 1s and 3 2s and
It
whatever
was a
the
lot.
total, whatever the total. At the
Yeah.
end of it, they had to pay him a fully guaranteed $260 million,
I think so.
something, whatever the number, I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's just unheard of. It never has happened before. So if it's one or the other, if he were a free agent and they signed him and that was part of the deal, it's like, all right, well, you really put yourself up against the wall. But if things fall apart and you're really bad, your first round pick, you draft a quarterback, he's on that rookie salary, and that makes it a little bit more tolerable to pay this guy. But they didn't. I mean, just it's a franchise killing contract,
Oh yeah,
and I know
completely.
that makes you happy.
It does. I don't think he ever should have played again. So, am I sad he's hurt and broken and his season's over and probably maybe his career? No. So yeah.
So, would there have been a situation if we went back in time
Uh,
and he signed with, he was a free, for the sake of our hypothetical, he was a free agent
yeah.
and he signed with, I couldn't even answer for you. He signed
Mm-hmm.
for a team that is no threat, that you would kind of like to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Not a team in your division.
For me personally, I don't even think he should have been allowed to play again. So
Okay, so
yeah,
it's not
it's
as
not the
if, I mean,
Browns. And again, the Browns have been poorly run for a very long
let,
time. That's not a
let's
secret.
just let's pick a hypothetical team. Let's call it
Yeah.
the Cardinals. Okay, I don't
Okay.
know if you
Sure.
have feelings one way or another. I
Not
don't.
really. No.
Okay, so forget about anybody on the Cardinals now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If Now Watson was never arrested, there were all those allegations, and I'm sure that at least 75% of the things said about him happened.
Mm-hmm.
If he would, and that all got cleared up, if he would have signed with Arizona for like the rookie minimum or the veteran minimum, would it have bothered you as much as it does that he's making stupid money?
I I think about it. I guess the money made it worse. It would still bother me, and the money really just made it worse that they would give him that much money.
For
So
me,
yeah,
I go back to Michael Vick. Michael Vick went to prison
yes,
for drowning dogs and for animal abuse and all that stuff,
yep,
got out, and then he got a second chance in the league.
mm-hmm.
It's apples and oranges. I don't want to compare the two things. Just on the grounds of him being in prison and
Mm-hmm.
getting a second chance,
Mm-hmm.
it kind of feels like if you do something wrong that you don't go to jail for, you should get a second chance. But I
I
mean,
I guess maybe I don't know. I guess depends what you did. As we talked about in the several seasons of this podcast, the league has very what have you done for me lately wishy-washy rules, just make it up as they go along. So I think that even adds to the frustration of it. Like what's his name in Detroit that made a FanDuel bet and he can't play for a year? Really? You have all these allegations. Another dude that came out of prison for I think that technically that's like a federal charge, isn't it? They get to play again. Dude makes a bet on a football game, can't play for a year. Another dude tests positive for marijuana, suspended indefinitely. It's just stupid. It's just stupid.
it is
That's me.
stupid, and I think it's time to move on.
It is. It is. And you want to know something, you know what's going to move on to really quick, though, because I want to get your thoughts on this. I'm going to give you stats for 2 quarterbacks, and I want you to guess who these 2 people are. Okay?
Okay.
Quarterback 1. He has, as of this past week, he has 2,120 yards passing. His touchdown interception ratio is 9-6. His passer rating is 89.3. Okay. Quarterback number 2, passing yards, 2,143. Touchdown to interception ratio, 14-5. His passer rating is 93.7. Can you guess who those 2 people are? And which
I believe. All right, what do I win if I get this on the first try? I mean, I deserve an attaboy at least.
You get one of the beers that you bought for me.
A good pat on the back will do just fine. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and guess. I'm gonna say quarterback 1 was Patrick Mahomes, and quarterback 2 was C.J. Stroud.
You are incorrect.
Oh,
would you like to? You can guess again. Let's guess. We have time. You can guess one more.
Did I get either of them right?
No.
So neither one of these guys are the 2 quarterbacks involved?
No.
Okay.
Well, I'll give you a hint. Quarterback 1 is in the AFC. Quarterback 2 is in the NFC.
So quarterback 1 is Josh Allen. Quarterback 2 is... Who's in the NFC? NFC teams. Okay. Jalen Hurts. I was blanking on his name. Is it Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts?
It is not. I am sorry. Would you like me to tell you who it is?
I believe you should just tell me.
Quarterback number 1 is Trevor Lawrence. Quarterback number 2 is Baker Mayfield.
Wow. Give us those numbers again.
So Trevor Lawrence, 2,120 yards passing. He has 9 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. His passer rating is 89.3. Baker Mayfield, 2,143 yards passing, 14 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and his passer rating is 93.7.
Well, that right there tells you who the king of Florida is. It's Tua, but that's besides the point. It's a different question.
Exactly.
Good for Baker. You know what? I want to see At Home with Baker Mayfield commercials again. I found them very amusing. I know you didn't like them because it was for the Browns, but I like the commercials.
No, the commercials were entertaining.
And I think that guy could have a future in a Monday Night Football booth type thing. He seems very personable. I don't know if he's intelligent or not, but you know who I think would really be good, but I don't think he ever wants to do it, is it's that guy I can't think of. The Rivers.
Philip.
The old Philip Rivers. Thank you. I was blanking. Hearing him talk, very intelligent about football. He's got that little bit of Southern accent that people find charming. I think he would be really good at it, but I think he has like 9 kids or something.
Yes, 9 or 10 kids, and I think he coaches high school football now. I think
9 kids. I mean, I would think that you would say yes. I want that job, but hey, who am I to judge?
But you know what is going to be a good judge of this week? America's favorite game. Yeah, remember, folks, Sinch is going to play America's favorite game, where he is going to guess which games are at 50 or above, or at 40 or below, which could be very useful information when making a DFS lineup, or even the fantasy lineup, really. So let me see this week. I am using DraftKings, so everyone knows. There are 1, 3. Okay. There are 3 games under 40. One of them is actually at 40.
I'm laughing because I knew there was no chance there were 3 games over 50.
And there are 0 games at 50 or above.
I would just like to say, you can bet a week into the future. Sometimes betting now for week 11 is the way to go. Next week, I'm right? This is week 10 coming up right now.
No, 11.
This is week 11. Okay,
Yeah,
bet
right.
week
Yeah,
12.
yeah.
Week 12, you're gonna see the Patriots at the Giants. The over/under has got to be like 29. I think I'd take the under.
Let's see if it's on here. I'll tell you. When is it happening?
Next
Oh, yeah.
week.
Wow, that's a low game. That's a low scoring game.
What is it?
It's right now. It's a 35.
Okay, well, there you go. That's a low one. Okay.
All right.
What is the name of the Giants quarterback?
DeVito.
What is it? Ben DeVito?
I don't remember his name.
Danny DeVito?
It is
It's not Danny.
It is not Danny DeVito.
Well, whatever his name is, if the Giants are going to start him, I think the Patriots bring in Danny DeVito and let him be our quarterback, because that is the Super Bowl of toilet bowl games. Whoever loses that game is in a really good draft position. You cannot win that one. All right, I'm
let's
done.
see. Now you're gonna make me look up his first name.
Hey, yo, Mikey, it's Mikey.
Nope.
Not Mikey. It's not Danny.
It is not Danny. What kind of order is this stupid roster in?
You would think we would know this. Right now,
Tommy,
if anyone is listening,
Tommy. It's Tommy
DeVito.
You know why? Because our brains are glued to that person being Danny DeVito.
That's what I was going to say. I see DeVito, and it's got to be Danny.
Yeah.
And you know that Tommy DeVito is, what's his name? Names are hard. And I'm drinking beer. It's Joe Pesci's character's name in, I think, Casino is Tommy DeVito.
Is it?
I believe so, yes.
I'll look that up later.
Okay, so I'm looking for unders here. I'm looking for unders.
And there's one game at 40, but there's 3 under 40.
I am very confident in my first guess because it includes the DeVitos of New York, really New Jersey. So I think the New Jersey DeVitos and the Washington, I'm going to say it anyway, I don't care, Redskins. I don't care. I think that one's got to be an under.
You are correct. That is a 37.
Yeah. Yeah, baby, yeah.
Very good.
All right. So we need another under.
Yep.
I'm gonna roll the dice and come up with an under. And there's 2 ways to do this. You either go to the really good defenses or the really bad teams. I'm gonna combine a bad team with a bad team and a defense and come up with the Steelers-Browns.
You are correct. That is a 33.
Oh, we're rolling. We're on a roll. All right, so I need one more. Just one more.
You need one more, and if you want to guess the 40, you can, but I won't strike you on them.
Just one more under. My one more under, it's simple.
Okay.
You're going to go to the only team that plays in New York. You're going to take the Jersey Jets and the New York Buffalo Bills.
Wow, Sinch sweeps the unders. That's a 39.
Yeah. Must be the beer.
Do you want to take a stab at the game that's at 40? Exactly.
If I had to come up with another one, I'd say Vikings-Broncos.
Vikings. Where's that game?
Well, that's not it based on your reaction.
That is, nope, that's a 43.5. The answer is actually Tennessee and Jacksonville.
Well, there you go.
Is a 40. I mean, I know I'm shocked.
Hey, all I remember is that I swept the 3 that I had to come up with.
You did.
So I didn't get the bonus question right. All right, fine. I'm okay with that.
That was an awesome job by you. Thank you for doing it.
Well, good beer.
That's right. That's all that matters. As a quick beer aside, if you ever see Space Cat Imperial Pumpkin, get it. It was wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful.
Okay.
So now, there's no metric this week, but we are gonna just come up with a lineup on the fly here with who we like. So
all right, we got this. So who is before you move on and transition away, which game had the highest over for this past week?
Wait, this past week?
Well, the one that we just finished this week coming up. What is
Oh,
the highest scoring
the
team,
highest
the
scoring
highest game,
game
so we know which one to go to? It's
is
probably Eagles Chiefs, maybe, but that's Monday.
that's Monday, and it actually is not the highest game. The highest game, and how is this even possible? I don't understand. The highest game is the Cardinals at the Texans at a 48.5.
Oh, how is it possible? You got C.J. Stroud against Kyler Murray.
Like,
Go, Kyler!
Was Vegas that impressed by Kyler Murray?
Go, go, go! I need
He
them to win
he's
about three
now
more games.
he's now an entire week exposed to Call of Duty. Just saying. So 48.5.
Well,
Wow.
you
You
know the
want to know the
reason.
second highest game?
Tell me.
It's the Bears at the Lions at
Wow,
48.
that's a mistake. Well, see what that's telling you right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's telling you that, well, Fields is back and starting this week. But to me, that means the Bears have a bad defense. Detroit is on a roll. That to me leads us to setting our lineup. That means I'm playing Goff. That's where I'm going.
Okay. Let me get into a thing here so I can see. Yeah, let me see here. Where's Goff? Goff is 6,600. That's not terrible. That is not terrible. Let me look here. Yeah, well, only because of the price. I really don't mind because he's averaging like 17, almost 18 points a game. Is Jordan Love. He's playing the Chargers. The Chargers
We
are
have
the
had
West
these
Coast.
we've
The
had these
Chargers
Jordan Love conversations with
we
you, and
have.
I don't know what you're seeing.
I'm seeing his point average. That's what I'm and his price. That's what I'm seeing. Um,
Okay.
Another example too is if you want to spend a little bit more, Sam Howell is playing the Giants and he's 6,300. So yeah,
That one's not bad. You wonder with a team like the Giants, who obviously they're not going anywhere. The players aren't thinking, well, we've got to get the best draft pick possible. The
mm,
players are thinking, I want to put up the best film so that I could get on a good team next year, or
yeah,
get the next money, the highest salary that they could get. But there's got to be some lasting. I mean, the Cowboys outgained the Giants by 560 yards or something. Not
yeah.
scored, but
It was pretty
outgained
bad.
them by.
Yeah, it
It
was
was
bad.
as bad as it could be. So I just
Yes.
wonder if we're in this game and Washington gets the ball and on first down they throw it for 14 yards and a first down. Do the Giants players just kind of, oh, again,
They're
this,
just
what's the
there.
point? Yeah, do they kind of give up if Washington goes down the field, gets a touchdown, if DeVito fumbles and they recover and it's 10-0, do they give up?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta, I mean, if you're a gambler, you gotta bet Washington's gonna win the game. Now it's just a matter, does Washington deserve to be, last I saw, I think they were like a 7.5 point favorite on the Giants. I mean,
I think so.
Washington isn't good. Washington is really trying to tank, but they're just too good. They traded away their two best defensive players.
Yeah, that's a valid point. That is a very, very valid point. All right.
Think about it. They traded their two best defensive players, beat the Patriots. You gotta feel like they're gonna beat the Giants this week. They trade
You
away their two
would
best
you
players
would
on defense
assume they
and win two in
would.
a row. I don't
You would
know. Maybe if you
assume they
kept those
would.
two guys, you'd win two in a row and maybe three in a row. What do I know?
You know what you know? You know about running backs. Are there any running backs this week that you enjoy or would enjoy on your roster?
Well, it's how you look at things. I'm looking this week at least. I don't know if it's this time of year. This week, I'm looking at who has a really bad defense.
Mm.
Maybe who's trying to just give up, who just wants to be done with this. And I just, you know what? The Bills have been decimated with injuries. Let me see. Do you see Brees Hall? He is 6,400. This is a
Okay.
game. You know what I don't get with the Jets? They don't have a quarterback. Everybody knows it. I
Yep.
don't know if the Jets know it, but everybody knows
No.
it. Why aren't they running the ball 25, 30 times a game?
Because I think what's his name was just assuming Rodgers was going to be there, and he didn't really have a plan.
But my point is, if you don't have a good team and you don't have a quarterback,
You need to run the ball.
run the ball, run the ball, run the
And you know
ball.
what's crazy is they just cut Michael Carter.
Yeah,
And
he hasn't been good though.
I know, but
He's
I'm
a
saying
guy.
they cut Michael Carter, and they're not using Dalvin Cook that much. Like him and Brees Hall should be
They're
on the
not running
field
it.
most of the time. Yeah.
But I agree with you. They're not running the ball. Brees Hall's getting like 10 carries a game. They give Cook maybe 5 carries a game. But
Yep.
I mean, that's my point. You don't have a good quarterback. I would run it 7 times and play action pass it on the 8th time.
Yeah.
That's the kind of team they have.
It
And
should
they
be
have a
run, pass.
they have a bad offensive line. Offensive linemen want to run block. They don't want to pass block. Run block, you're moving forward, you're hitting somebody. Pass block, you're taking a couple of steps back and getting hit. So
Yeah, and then hoping you don't miss.
I don't know. They know what they're doing. Who am I? I'm just some guy. I don't know.
I don't
They know
know.
what they're doing.
I don't know.
So here's a question for you because I'm blanking on the guy's name.
Yeah.
Alexander Madison got a concussion.
Yes.
So he's out.
Yes.
Cam Akers, the worst player in the NFL. Tore his Achilles, he's out.
Yep.
Who is the guy starting for the Vikings?
It's someone.
It's
no
like
one's
Ty.
heard of. Actually, I don't think.
No, he was playing last week. He was in the game. I'm trying to look him up now, and it's hard to find someone that you don't know his name.
Let me see really quick here.
Well, that unknown running back, I mean, it makes it really easy for me to make a lineup online like this out loud because I'm not telling you who it is because I can't think of his name. So I can't be held responsible.
Yeah, what is his name? No,
I'm looking.
prop bets aren't. Well, they play Sunday night.
Even so. Oh, that's why he's not showing up. I was going to say he's a guy that I would. Ty Chandler, is that his name? Is it Chandler?
Sounds right.
I think it's Chandler. Anyway, he was a guy I would use because he's got to be cheap. But again, he's in the Sunday night, so that doesn't help us.
Yes, it is Ty Chandler.
See, I can remember stuff. I mean, not important stuff, but I can remember stuff. So, do you have a running back you want to shout out? Since I am.
So this week, it seems like either you're gonna have to pay way up for Christian McCaffrey, who's $9,300, and then Eckler is $8,600. So
McCaffrey is going against Tampa Bay. Really good run defense. So this could be the kind of game McCaffrey has 9 catches for 115 yards.
That's very true.
Doesn't run it at all.
Mm-hmm. But everyone else, for the most part, with a few exceptions, everyone's in a 6,000 range. Iffy. At 5,800, I kind of like Brian Robinson. Again, playing the Giants, so not a bad choice in my opinion.
It could work.
It could work.
You would think they get out to a lead and then try and run the clock.
Yeah,
but I don't. You know what? I don't even know. It doesn't seem like we want to do that anymore. That's old-fashioned football.
Yeah, now you just have to fake. You fake spikes and then you just throw the ball and see what happens.
I got a guy for you.
Yeah.
Just underneath him, James Conner, 5,700. James Conner likes to get touchdowns. It seems like he does it often. He's got Kyler Murray back.
I didn't know he was coming back.
I think he played last week.
Oh, he did play that. Yes, he did play last week.
That's a guy I would consider reaching for. I don't know, 5,700. How much of a reach is that? That's a guy I would use.
Yeah, I agree. All right, on to where you have to make more choices. The position known as wide receiver. So this week, 2 people I like. I'm still on the Brandon Ayuk train. I think he's consistent, though he's $7,200, so you do have to pay up for him a tad. And the other person I like, because he is on a hot streak right now, and he has a very hot quarterback, That would be Noah Brown. And then, granted, right now he is questionable. He plays for Houston. He's questionable, so pay attention to that. But I think it could work because he's only $4,800. So, like, if you look at his last 2 games, he had 2 weeks ago against Tampa, he had 153 yards receiving, and then last week he had 172 yards receiving. So, and as of right now, he's still low enough that I think it could work, provided he plays, of course.
So here's my question: if you had to come up with a running back, a wide receiver, I need a wide receiver that would be a value play, someone who's not in the 8,000, 7,000, 6,000 range. Who you got? Is there a guy? Do you know a guy? Is there a guy? I need a guy.
You need a guy?
I need a guy. You got a guy? I need a guy. Come on, you got to know a guy.
No, he's a tight end.
Need a guy.
Who else do I? And then, you know what? As long as Justin Jefferson is out, Jordan Addison is still a smart play, in my opinion. And he's only $5,900. Again, if you're playing the full slate of games.
I mean, that's a guy, but I don't think he's the guy. He's just a guy. As
long as Jefferson is out, he is.
I got the guy.
Who's the guy?
I believe I've got the guy. He's 4,200.
Okay.
Going against Green Bay, and I don't think all that much of their defense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure of his first name. Begins with a Q. Was it Quentin? The wide receiver for the Chargers, Johnston.
Quintez, I think his name is.
All right. I mean, that's flashier. Q Johnston. Q him. Go Johnston. He's the guy.
Oh, Quentin. That's the same.
There you go. He's the guy I would go with. If you saw last week's Chargers game, you saw Keenan Allen get hurt again. Came back in the game. I mean, he got hurt, and it was like, man, they're in trouble. This guy's going to miss a week or two. And then, like, the next time you saw him on the field, it's like, oh, he's open in the end zone, touchdown. It's like, he's back in the game? So I guess he's okay. But, I mean, he's getting up there. Keenan Allen is a good receiver, but he's injury-prone. He's older now for receiver.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the number 2 guy with everyone else. I mean, what's his name? Josh Palmer, I think, is hurt. Michael, what's the other receiver that's gone for the year there? Michael something. Not Thomas.
Gone where?
I don't know. The beer is damn good, though. I could tell you that. Anyway, so you got Keenan Allen. You got Quentin Johnston. He's the guy that I'm going with for 4,200. He's the low-end price guy that I'm picking.
Okay.
So there you go. I'm going to have a drink.
Not bad. You enjoy that drink. All right. Next up would be tight end. This week, tight end is like, we always say try not to spend a lot on tight end, but man, does it drop off. Like, I usually try to stay around 3,000 with tight end, but this week, You can't. You really can't.
I got a guy.
Oh, who's your guy?
The guy I got. You got Kyler Murray is back. You've got Zach Ertz is gone. He's gone. So the guy I've got is Trey McBride. He's 4,400. He's going against the Houston defense. The weakness of Houston is their defense. So for 4,400. That's probably a little bit more than I want to spend on tight end, but he's the guy I settled on. And all that really means for me personally is for my flex position, I've got to come up with either a really bad wide receiver or a tight end for my flex. So it's the world we live in.
It is.
I'm not going to give a full lineup, but I would say if I were, Curtis Samuel would be the flex guy that I would choose because he's 3,600.
Yeah,
but I'm not going to do that.
Well, good job. And defenses, I'm not going to pick one. So just we don't have to. Just pick one that you can afford. Really,
Oh,
That's
defense. It's like I said with defenses, I've said every time, scroll down to the bottom, work from the bottom up, and a defense that you think could possibly get a turnover, that's the one to go with. If you're ever in a position where you're looking to set your lineup and you're going, let me pick this high priced defense, you're really just screwing yourself at another position that's going to outscore that anyway.
true. True.
That's my opinion. I could be wrong.
Ah, man, and with that, man, we've talked for almost an hour. Can you imagine
Wow.
that? Imagine that.
I can't.
So any final thoughts for you going into week 11 of the 2023 NFL season?
Well, I'll tell you, I'm happy that the London and Germany games are done. I don't really care for that 9:30 starting time. For the most part, I watched that game, but I'm happy it's over with because it's unnatural. It does not need to be there. What we have instead is we have a really good Thursday night game, the Bengals at the Ravens. And then to end the week, we have a really good Monday night game, the Eagles at the Chiefs. Sunday, we'll all watch, we'll drink, we'll be merry, but it's all about the Thursday and the Monday. Bet the unders. That's my final thought.
Yeah, that's very good. Yeah, and also this, if you're in fantasy, this is probably your last week to make a trade. So I would just say, you know what, just try to trade with people, because you never know if someone will accept. I know some people, they're difficult to trade with, or they never want to trade, but trading adds some spice to the year. So I would say, try it out if you don't normally.
I threw out an offer in our main league that matters the most, and I was rejected. And let me know what you think of this.
I was too. Okay, what is it?
I offered George Pickens and a 5th round pick next year.
Okay.
To a team that is not making the playoffs.
Yep.
For Cooper Kupp. So, do you want a 5th round pick? Do you want to counter me and say, no, give me your 4th round, give me your 3rd? No, instead it's just, no, I'm not doing that. I thought it was a pretty solid, solid offer.
I mean, yeah, I mean, he's not the same guy. I mean, I would have taken that probably, because he's not. He's not
the way I
dude.
look at it, if you're not making the playoffs and someone gives you a draft pick for the next year, help yourself next year. There's nothing you could do to help yourself now. I was negotiating with the source all day today.
I sent him a wonderful package, and he wanted someone else, and it didn't work out.
See, he wanted to get Jonathan Taylor from me. And
he's trying to find someone to keep next year.
I am in a 3-way tie for first with Sean and Britt. We are all 8-2. Only 2 of us are making the playoffs. So I was considering, hey, do I get CeeDee Lamb and give up Jonathan Taylor? And it's like, you know what? I need Jonathan Taylor. There aren't enough Jonathan Taylor type running back.
So you're gonna send me Jonathan Taylor. That's happening.
For your first pick next year. Craig is in the other division. You need this. You gotta make the playoffs. Hey, so for our side bet, what happens if you make the playoffs, go to the Super Bowl, and you're not in the top 2? Because we said,
well, I thought we're doing it from. I don't know, because no one really ever. When I set this out like in July, no one really answered me other than, yeah, we'll do it. So I don't know. I'm assuming if a hypothetical land, if me and Britt or me and you make the Super Bowl, we're the top 2 no matter what. So
I'm saying if you go 9-7,
yeah,
and Sean has 9 wins, doesn't make the playoffs. Britt and I have 10 wins. One of us beats the other to go to the Super Bowl. Now I have more wins than you, or Britt has more wins.
I think I don't know. We'll figure it out. I mean, as long as Sean pays, it's fine. That's really all that matters. So
the loser of the 4 of us just has to get a tattoo that says "I lost to these 3."
That could work too. That
written in Chinese.
We have to verify it is correct first, though. We can't have people walking around with like a menu order on them.
Yeah. That guy got salt and pepper tattooed on his arm.
Yeah, it happens a lot. It happens a lot.
But if it looks cool, who really knows? All right, you know what?
People that
While
can
we're on
read Mandarin,
tattoos,
I guess. Yes.
while we're on tattoos, I have a question.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
The people that get the tattoo on the back of the neck, I don't get it. Or like the tattoo on like the back of the shoulder, you can never see that. Maybe one time they could take a picture. There's a mirror that you could, but
True.
otherwise you'll never see it again. So now you're just gonna sit there, and they're gonna poke you with a needle.
Yes.
And you're gonna pay big money, and you'll never see it again. I don't get that.
I mean, unless you look in a mirror.
Yeah, but it's the back of your neck. I mean, it's not easy to see, even if you look in a mirror.
That is true.
I don't know. I don't know. That's me. What can I tell you?
But you know what you can tell you? I can tell you is that
Tell me.
If you like this podcast, you should leave us a review, especially on iTunes. We're on most podcast places. iTunes is the one that matters most, but we're on most podcast players. Not really on X anymore. I know Sinch is, but I really don't look at it anymore much. So really, you can email us. But yeah, social media. Just leave us a review on iTunes. That's really, really what I'm saying.
I want to pose a challenge to the listeners out there.
Sure.
If you have a tattoo, I would appreciate it if you would leave us a message and let us know, where'd you get the tattoo? Are you happy with the tattoo? And how much did it cost? Because I'm very curious if there's a lot of buyer's remorse when it's like, well, I spent $200 and I never see it, and I have long hair so no one else sees it. And it's like, well, why would I don't know. I was in a restaurant. I saw the waitress. It's that she had, I don't know. I guess I'm done.
And quick sidebar, our email is fignutsdfs@gmail.com, or you can just check us out at fignutsdfs.com. With that, Sinch, once again, thank you for joining this week.
Thank you for allowing me a microphone.
You are most welcome, and thank you for letting me experience your beer with you.
It was good. Good beer.
I'm glad.
I can't wait for you to get your beer, because you know why? Good beer.
Oh,
good beer.
Thank you very much.
Good beer.
With that, thank you everyone for listening and staying with us. We definitely appreciate it. And with that, I'm Craig.
I'm Sinch.
And this has been another episode of the Football Fignuts Podcast. Hi, Deb.